best way to start this off. I know, you're on this webinar, you know a little bit about Kaizen Summit, who we all are, what we do, but I thought it'd be good just to either refresh you if you do know, or educate you and let you know if you don't know. So this company is just about a year old. It was co-founded by myself and Ben Newton, who is on the line, but not visible because he's driving. And it was founded because we were both fans of a guy in America, retired Navy SEAL, you might have heard of, called Jocko Willink. We both read all his books, been on courses, consumed a lot of his content, resonated with a lot of it, enjoyed a lot of it, and unofficially we're teaching and living what he taught. And he has a company over in America called Echelon Front, and they have a framework that they teach when it comes to leadership, and an overarching principle called extreme ownership. Now, we decided to reach out to Jocko and his team and see if we could take what they created, teach it over here with our own unique British twist on it and our own language, which we were allowed to do. And so January this year, we started it. It has grown a fair amount in that year, as any startup. It's been full of challenges, some failure, some success, lots of long hours and grind, but we built a solid team to this point, and we're looking forward to 2026 to see what we can do. Now, in terms of what we do as a company, we're kind of split into two halves. So business, B2B, business to business, and B2C, business to customer. The B2B stuff that we do is the leadership consultancy. So we'll go into firms, companies. We will initially do like a one-day flagship presentation talking about what we teach, the framework, the principles, the 4 laws of combat / 4 laws of leadership. And then if that company wants to progress, we can then build custom bespoke training programs to specifically target what it is that company may be dealing with. If that goes well, and there are certain issues with individuals, we can then do our mentoring service with mid to senior level executives. We also run leadership weekends with those companies. We do multiple day workshops with those companies, and just take everything that we've learned over the years, what we've took from the Echelon Front training system, and apply it to their unique situations. On the B2C side of things, what we really do is the mentoring. So we take a team of currently serving or retired military men and women who have all been through the system, all been through the training, all come out the other side, and we work one-to-one with individuals, similar to the businesses, in that everyone has their own unique problems, difficulties, and challenges that we help them to solve. Now, we don't coach, we do coach, but we are more mentors than coaches. I personally, over the years, have spent thousands of pounds training as a coach and qualifying as a coach. And then after spending all that money, realized that I didn't have the patience to do it. I prefer just to tell people what to do and then watch them do it, rather than coach them to figure it out themselves, which is why I love this company so much. We also run retreats with individuals. We're building a couple of retreats now. We have live events, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, because one of them is a perk of being part of this, coming to one of our live events. And we have
Mark, I don't know if you can hear me, but can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry. It's just to let you know that the link in the email, I don't know how many people have joined, but the link in the email, even the corrected email, isn't working. So there's, I think there's probably a lot of people trying to join that can't. I've joined just on the phone number, so I can't see anything. But I just thought you might be able to get someone to correct the link or check the link, so that more people can join.
Right. When the first email I had when I booked, that link worked. The reminder email was the first link I tried. That one didn't work, but I've got on correctly from the initial email link rather than the follow-up email. If that's
okay. I'll pop a comment to that effect on the community. Sorry, Mark. Sorry to interrupt.
No, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for putting the comment on. We are recording this, so what we can do is then send out a Charlie 1 to everyone that couldn't get on, so they're going to get this information anyway. So if you're watching this recording, I apologise. I'm a numpty. All my fault. Extreme ownership. What was I talking about? Community site. So the other thing we do is our community site, which you'll also get, I think, 6 months access to, which, I mean, this is, whenever I've been involved in a business and it comes to pricing, I don't know if it's a British thing or a military thing or what, but I'm always kind of, I like cringe when I think about setting a price for something. And this is probably the only time I haven't. We have a community set, and again, I'm going to talk about it later, but it's over 20 years worth of various different mentors' knowledge and experience and information kind of condensed into this membership site full of short courses. So we're going to talk about all this a bit later. I'll probably jump ahead of myself a little bit, but that's who we are as a company. That's what we do, business to business and business to customer. I am Mark Ormrod, one of the co-founders, and the other person hosting this webinar this evening is...
Hi, I'm Gina Atkinson. You might see another few names bandied about on socials. And similar to Mark's background, I'm ex-military. Owned a number of businesses. Some failed, some worked really well. And yeah, I'm here now as a mentor with Kaizen Summit and also the operations director. So it's all really exciting times.
Can we get the next slide, please, Gina?
So,
all right, this, oh, sorry.
Am I doing it? I'll do it. So Recalibrate is a 6 weeks challenge, and I think what's different to other challenges is people set themselves, on January the 1st, I'm gonna get up, get my trainers on, and get sprinting around the block, and it doesn't really work. I'd probably say 80% of New Year's challenges fail. So this is why we've come up with this really simple process, which will get you on the right path, as we were talking before. Just small changes, and the community is really going to help you achieve the goals that you want to in 2026 by setting yourself with rules and standards. And it's basically 4 simple rules, but you get a lot more than that. You get the members portal, and you also get a chance to win a spa weekend break for 2. Woo! Kaizen Summit discounts and offers, which we'll talk about. 6 weeks. This is a star prize, mentorship prize with the one and only Mark Ormrod, and discounted VIP tickets for the events in Harrogate.
All right. So, and I'm just going to add to what Gina said, actually. I think it's 88% of people that give up on their New Year's resolutions within the first 4 weeks. That's why this is so simple. We've intentionally designed this to be easy, manageable, and low level, because the reason so many people quit is because they set these crazy, audacious, outrageous goals. Like, I want to lose 66 stone in weight in 3 days, and they're miserable and they're tired and they're cranky, and then they go, oh, this isn't worth it, and they quit. I'm sure I've definitely been there in the past. I'm sure many of you have as well. The key that we found to all of this is just to keep it simple, and that's exactly what this challenge is about. So the first thing, the first rule of Recalibrate is get up before the noise, get up early. Now, being ex-military, I've always got up kind of early, normally because people were shouting at me and telling me that I have to, or they're going to punish me. But when my 2 youngest kids were born, and I don't know how many of you are parents listening to this, you might resonate with this. Like, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning was the only time that I had in a day to myself. And it just stuck. 14, 15 years ago, I started doing it. And I get up at 5 o'clock every day now. And I find it, first of all, it's the perfect start to my day. I feel like I'm getting a head start. I'm ahead of everybody. I've already achieved by probably 08 in the morning what most people would have achieved by halfway through the day. So I just find it really powerful, and empowering, and a really good way to increase productivity. So that's the first rule, and we're going to keep it simple. Again, this is all individual, right? So I'm not saying if you get up at 7 o'clock, we want you up at 3 o'clock every day. You don't have to do that. Maybe to start with, for the first week, you get up at instead of getting up at 7, you get up at 6:45. And then maybe on the second week, you get up at 6:30. Maybe on the third week, you get up at 6:15. The point is, you just do little bit by little bit together as a group, what suits you, what suits your lifestyle, and what you can do, manage, and to a degree, enjoy.
So rule number 2 then is following on the same theme. So it's moving your body every day. Those of us who are ex-military will probably kind of used to that. But at Kaizen, we feel that you need to build your body to build your mind. And movement, for me, certainly, is definitely a medicine, not only for my body, but for my mind. And it's my way that I escape, is by getting in the gym or a home workout or out for a run if I'm lucky enough to have the time. And movement has been proven also to help with procrastination. I don't know whether you've ever done it. You've dragged yourself to the gym or dragged yourself out for that walk, and then afterwards you just feel better. So the hardest step is starting it, really, and it's even now been proven by science. And for me, doing it every day and setting these rules so we can all be accountable is what helps with achieving your goals. So it's discipline, realistically, over motivation, and it's discipline that makes me get up and go out when it's raining, to keep moving and starting to form that habit. And it's consistency over time which equals and makes results, and we'll all see results over the 6 weeks, even all the mentors that are doing it, because we're going to be probably doing more than we normally do. And as Mark was saying, it's not just, it's your starting point. So if you don't do anything, which is perfectly fine, but now we start pushing yourself. So maybe at lunchtime, if you, instead of sat at the desk, you get up and walk around the block every day, that's going to have massive improvements for everybody. So it's where your norm is to start is the main thing. And we're also going to I'm going to put workouts every day on the portal. So it's going to be a home workout with really minimal kit, hopefully just body weight, just to give you some sort of inspiration. I'm going to hope that some of the other mentors will join in on that to give their spin, because there's quite a few of us that are personal trainers or ex-PTIs, so we know how to put a routine together. So that'll help you. And also there was one other thing which has eluded me now, but yeah, so we're going to be putting workouts on there. And yeah, the disclaimer is, if you haven't exercised in the last few years, then please do go and see a doctor before you start anything. And then if anything is painful, not just fatigue, but painful, then do stop. But we're there for you on the portal if you need to ask questions. As you say, Ben was a CrossFit or is a CrossFit trainer. I'm a personal trainer, and I'm sure there's a few of us, of our mentors, that probably are in the same boat. So yeah, so the second rule, move your body every day. I think it's just perfect to get people up and moving.
Yeah, and again, sorry, before I go on to rule 3, just to kind of add to what Gina said, again, this is about doing what you can do given the circumstances that you're in. So I don't want to pull the disabled card, but I travel a lot and stay in hotels a lot, and not every gym that may be close is workable for me. So I will just get up sometimes in the morning, jump on the floor, and I do like a 15-20 minute mobility workout. If a cleaner came in, they'd probably freak out because they'll see me like bench pressing the chairs in the hotel, just whatever it is, stretching my back, my hip flexors, just something to move my body, limber it up, warm it up, get a little bit of a sweat on. It doesn't have to be a marathon every day, just whatever your situation and circumstances dictate. Now, rule 3, this might be uncomfortable for some people. It was certainly uncomfortable for me when I started doing this, being a big, hairy, smelly, sweaty former Royal Marine, to write down stuff. First of all, because as you all know, we write in crayon and it's not always easy, but it just felt a bit odd to me to write down my thoughts, feelings, reflect on what I'd achieved, what I was proud of. You know, if you're ex-military or serving, you'll get what I'm saying. It's just an odd concept. It may not be nowadays, but you know, back in the day it was. But it's a very powerful concept. You know, I started journaling by actually writing things down. I won't bore you with the science of writing stuff down, but I struggled with it because I'm a lefty now, and it's actually I find it quite mentally fatiguing to physically write and physically journal. And I can never get in a comfortable position to do it for long enough. So I just dictate. I'll talk into my phone. I'll take a note. The main thing is that you get it out of your head, and you get it either on paper or in a voice format to reflect on the wins of the day and sometimes the losses too. You know, and when you measure these things, you can improve these things. So it's just to say that it might feel a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning, and a bit weird, and even like it's a waste of time. You know, what am I doing this for? This is stupid. But as those days stack up, and maybe you get to the end of a week and you look back, that's when you'll start to see an improvement, you know, and get that little chemical release, and know that you're doing well and that you're on track. So rule 3, reflect on your day.
Yeah, and that rule 3 is incredibly important and might seem soft and fluffy, but I think it does help. I know when I was going through a pretty nasty divorce, and I started doing a bit the same. I'm not the best writer, so I started dictating or recording myself, and it just really helped to express myself when there wasn't other people around. So it can help you in that to verbalize what you're going through, so you can process how the day's gone. So it's incredibly powerful. Yeah, so rule 4, this is, I don't know, this is my favorite one, and I really can't wait to see what everybody's going to do with this. So improve your life by 1% each day. So that could be, this is probably your classic challenge, like, you know, I'm going to learn to play the guitar this year, or I'm going to write a book, or even I'm just going to read a bit more. And I think what people do is they don't put it out in bite-sized chunks. So they'll start on day 1, and if it's writing a book, you know, trying to write 10 pages. If it's playing the guitar, you're going to be there for an hour and your fingers are going to be bleeding. And I think with this 1%, is it put it into bite sizes. And if it's 10, 15 minutes every day, or even just 5 minutes, by the end of a whole year, you're going to have improved whatever skill or process that you want to improve in your life by 37%. And that's massive. That's a massive increase. And I'm really excited to see, you know, what everybody's deciding to do. I've got loads of ideas, but I'm only going to try and settle down with one and not do the classic January challenge.
I think Liam applied this when he was learning to read, and by the end of a month he could read The Cat in the Hat. So it definitely works. It's 1% a day and you're good to go.
Mate, you think I can read it? Wow, I'm impressed.
Audiobook.
So, membership to the Kaizen Summit for 6 weeks. What does this mean? So, Kaizen, this is our membership portal that I was telling you about. Think of it as a private Facebook group, like a private community. You join this, other people on the challenge or in the Kaizen community are in here. This is where forming communities, accountability, sharing wins, sharing losses, struggles, and all these things. This is where this really comes home. This is such a valuable tool to be able to do this, especially if you're kind of new to sharing and being vulnerable and asking for help. This safe community is where we do this, and we are encouraging people on the challenge to share as much as they can, especially when, you know, the reflections that we're talking about. If you're confident enough and you're willing to share, this is the place to do it. And they've gamified it, which is great. The more you contribute to this, you climb up a leaderboard, and the more points you get, the higher you climb. And there are some prizes. You saw them at the beginning. We'll talk about them a little bit. But this is the place to do it. There's also a lot of content in here. What I mentioned earlier on the membership site, over 20 years of combined experience, probably more than that, actually, from all of our mentors, from everything, on subjects from fat loss to building a more resilient mindset. We are building this day by day, week by week, adding more and more short courses. They're not 3, 4, 5 hours long. These are only 10, 15 minutes each, but we're adding as many as we can, so you can dip in there for the duration of this 6-week challenge, see the ones that are relevant to you, put yourself through a course, hopefully learn a bit, and then maybe even apply some of what's in that content to the 6-week challenge. And then at the end, like I said, whoever contributes the most climbs the leaderboard and points win prizes.
Yeah, so as Mark says, there's a lot more to win. So the best one, or is it the best one? No, probably your mentorship's probably going to improve it more. But to relax after the 6 weeks, you've got a chance to win a spa weekend break at some luxury hotel. So and that's for 2 people, so you don't have to go on your Todd. So make sure when you get the link that you do actually apply for that, because you need to physically do that. We're also going to have, you're going to have access to exclusive offers from our partners. So we've got partners with Combat Ready and Combat Fuel, which are nutritional based, protein powders, that type of thing. And we've also got Kaizen apparel, which is our own awesome brand of uniqueness, which you'll get some discounts off. And there's a few others in there. So once you sign up and jump in, you'll be able to see what that is.
And then there is the 6-week mentorship prize with moi, which will be, as I kind of alluded to at the beginning of this chat, whoever wins it will work together for 6 weeks, come with all your problems, all your woes, all your worries, all your challenges. We'll have an intro call, which will last about an hour, where you can just vomit all your issues on me that you're going to work on. And then we'll build a structured 6-week program, usually reverse engineered from 6 weeks backwards, breaking it down into chunks, challenges, goals, and targets, where we will work together, and I will hold you accountable to doing the things that you say you're going to do. And we'll probably go through a process similar to this when it comes to journaling, reflecting. And by the end of that 6 weeks, the aim is, like with this 6-week challenge, is that you've taken the things you're struggling with, and that you are that you find a challenge, and we'll overcome them together. And then you get discounts to the Harrogate event. So some of the live events we do at the minute, because we are a small company, the live events that we do, as in the keynote speeches, it's just me at the minute. We are building an army of people like me, veterans, retired professional athletes and the like, who can entertain a room for an evening. But at the minute, unfortunately, you're stuck with me until we get some more signed up. And we've got an event in Harrogate, which I believe is on the 12th of February, where myself and Liam will interview me like Michael Parkinson on stage, and we'll just have a fun evening together. I'll tell you some stories about my life, most especially, getting injured, going through rehab, and then just hang out and have a good time. We've done about, I think, 4 of these in 2025 as we got started. All a lot of fun. We got to meet some great people, and we're building on that. So you'll get discounted tickets to that event as well.
Yeah, and it's all for only £20. So yeah, it's a steal, I think. So we've got some testimonials. Glyn's actually here, so hopefully that's correct. And then we've got the pillars over there, which I think Mark's just going to run through, which is our main foundations. Yeah,
it was funny actually. Earlier we were running through this presentation, and I noticed some typos. And Glyn, your quote, it said, "The program is an invaluable resource that will help you gain Glyn Hanks. And I was like, will it? We're going to give Glyn to somebody. We missed the word out, but we got it now.
I think that'll be a booby prize for anybody, mate.
So these pillars of performance, this is kind of like the foundation, if you like, of everything that we work from. Now, the physical resilience one, I personally have gobbed off and preached about this for years. I know many of you on this call will understand this fully anyway, but being strong, being fit, being healthy is the foundation of everything. And you'll know, even if you're not into this kind of lifestyle yet, you'll know that having dipped your toe in the water potentially from time to time, when you've hit the gym, worked out for a period of time, everything just feels better. Your mind's clearer, you're more motivated, your mood's better, you perform better, you ironically have more energy when you thrash yourself in the gym regularly, and it just permeates out into other areas of your life. So this is like the bottom of our pyramid. Our first pillar of performance is physical resilience, which is why one of the rules is to get up and to move your body. Now, structured guidance effectively is mentoring. You know, some people perform well on their own. I've met thousands and hundreds of thousands of people over the years. They're very rare that you find these people that can just operate at the highest level on their own or achieve what they want to achieve on their own without help, support, or guidance or mentorship. So mentorship is what we mean by structured guidance, which is pretty much what we do and what we're best at. Community connection, we talked about that earlier within the community group, within the membership site. It's having other people around that share similar values, that are on a similar mission, that want to share that with other people. And you'll be surprised, you know, the friendships, if you want, that come out of these things. When people meet, even though it's initially online, they find out they got things in common. You know, they might struggle in the same areas, they share their successes. These bonds get either, you know, we believe that either taking an old skill or learning a new skill and really going deep on it. You know, a lot of us play with many different things, and you know, what's that old saying? I'm a jack of all trades but a master of none. So skill mastery is about taking a skill or skills and going really deep on them to really gain a level of mastery. And then continuous improvement. That is exactly what we're all about. I should have said this at the beginning, but Kaizen, for those that don't know, is the Japanese philosophy of constant, never-ending improvement. This is where we get this 1% at a time thing from. It's all about continuous improvement. So even in that pyramid right there, all of those things, physical resilience, structured guidance, community connection, skill mastery, they can all be continually improved. And I'm not gonna even attempt to say Gina, you tried saying it earlier. Small incremental improvements applied with consistency over time equal mastery, or words to those effect. So those are. Did I get it right?
Yeah, I made mine shorter.
Okay.
Being a math
1% improvement.
Yeah. Consistency times time equals results.
Exactly.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's us really in a nutshell. So if we come out of that, we can ask any questions if you've got any.
I've been scanning, Gina.
Yeah.
I've been scanning. There's not many questions, but I'll just read a few out. Mary said, if the only thing she comes away from is a fully established habit of getting up early, then I'll be thrilled. Mary, I'm going to make you an alarm clock with me screaming at you every morning to get out of bed at 04. How about that? It'll burn into your brain, so you have to get up. Small incremental adjustments over the period will get you there. Absolutely. Good plan. Mary said, I already love this community. I have bigger goals for the 6 weeks, but I'll be grateful for any lasting change. And then any tips on measurable goals would be great. We can do all that when we're in the challenge, Mary. We can give you all the help, advice that you need within the community. I cannot believe you're basically offering this for free. No, neither can I actually.
No.
Harrogate event, Liam's going to send them to you. Any goal insurance specific, realistic? Yeah, smart goals. We can do all that stuff. Any other questions before we let you guys go? The IT lad couldn't work out how to join Google Meets. Oh, well done, Miles. He got in. He got in eventually. Miles, we've recorded it, mate. We're going to send it out to everyone because I think we dropped the ball a little bit of the link. So it's just we just kind of briefly went over what the challenge is all about. I'm looking forward to getting started. I hope you guys are.
Yeah, definitely. I really just can't wait to see what everyone gets done over 6 weeks, really, and the improvements that everybody's going to have. Yeah, definitely.
I was going to ask people to share, but I want to save it for the community site. I want to see it all on the community site, see what people are going to do, what they're going to achieve. Any last questions before we let you guys enjoy your evening? No? Any last ones from you, Gina?
No, just obviously if anybody's got any questions afterwards, then just if you stick it on social media or email us, we'll gladly answer anything that you need to know.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys very much for getting up your evening. Appreciate it. Looking forward to see you on the challenge. I'm excited. I hope you are. Take care.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye.
Speak to you soon.